3 kill plus round, so maybe we'll see some clutch performances from her with that AWP very soon. But getting back into the action here, all tied up at 3-3 as Jennifer is waiting there. All right, around, where was she located? I can't track her. There we go. Goose Breeder, in the meantime, is going to be throwing that Molotov. They're throwing it every single time, but this time Eris is on the other side of it. They're not going to expect this. He swings around and gets a 2K. Goose Breeder and Emmy go down. 5v3 in favor of X13 as Yuli has spotted out one of those X13 members. She's looking to get the response, but a great molly is thrown to prevent it. That said, she swings around, looks at Donut, spots Maxwell, and drops him. 4v3. CLG Red far from out of this round, but they're going to have to get a little more map control.
It's interesting that simplifying for X13 may have actually been the answer, right? They moved one of the players away from the 3-man stack they've been playing over in towards B main. The timing for Yuli on the utility could have been so rough. She gets away with it, but not with her life. Lemons, the answer back. Now it's a really tough situation for CLG Red. Coming into the 2v4, they're going to try and make their way through the cave and find a gap on towards the site to get the bomb plant, but there's a crossfire setup here. And they're ready. Ready to play off of Scar from in the nook. He takes the first, there's the swing for the second, and it's a massacre, a shutdown round. That's how X13 starts to establish themselves, pull into the lead here as well, prevent the bomb plant, as you said, cut off that lifeline for CLG Red, and start to really assert themselves on the CT side.
Yeah, but we are getting closer and closer to hitting that full loss bonus now for CLG Red, which will help them out. And into this round, the money's a little tough, right? You got Yuli and Goose who could buy up, and the rest could force up, and Emmy as well. So Di and Jennifer could just force up some pistols or perhaps get some SMGs in play, and they can go for it. But they're going to talk things over and make that decision in a few moments. It looks like Jennifer's already bought up the MAC-10, so you have to imagine that they are going to go for it here, Mike. But yeah, we'll see.
A little bit of a mix.
Okay, so more of the half buy then. Okay, I respect either call, right? You know,
I don't. Glass Cannon MAC-10 is an interesting one. Don't see that very often.
No.
No armor behind it, didn't have the money, maybe miscalculated the finances a little bit there.
Yeah, I have a feeling that maybe a little bit of miscommunication happened there, and he thought that. Anyway,
Hit's going to come in.
Yeah, Eris is going to get a couple.
Damage being done. Good shutdown round from X13. The reinforcements are here, and while Goose Breeder will try a valiant effort to get something done, it might just be time to force a plant, and a nade will prevent even that possibility. Lands right in her lap. Sends her skyward. Little rocket jump here in CSGO. Little bouncy bounce. And it's going to be done. Out of play. Oh, no. Oh, joining the space program.
All right. Well, X13's gotten on quite a little run for themselves. 4 rounds in a row, but we are hitting a full loss winners with CLG Red. Unluckily for them, they couldn't get that bomb plant, so no full utility going to come through. Although they still have a decent amount to work with. Yuli is going to push through mid, and she's staring down at that smoke once more, looking to get the advantage in the donut engagement. But as of right now, she's in the meantime towards the B side of the ramp and engaging, looking to get the open flank, but they can't connect with either player. They both get away. Yuli, in the meantime, does again win that engagement at donut, makes it a 5v4 advantage for CLG Red, but they've taken quite a bit of damage. Yuli and Goose Breeder down to about half health or below it.
Yeah, there's some risk there. Still an opening pick, might help them get back into this. And they do control Jaguar, which is something they haven't been able to hold on to. X13's been defending that pretty greedily. The setup's a bit different in this round. They want to lure them further into the cave. The last time this happened, Eris got a free blind fire kill. This time CLG might just be a bit more wary. Still, they will approach, and the difference in this round is there's an op on the other side. Die! Predicts the angle, boosted up onto the box. We'll be able to take that one through. Nice bit of op work here. And now posted up on the angle, the one major threat is the player still in the cave, and Eris will strike from that position. Still can't deny the bomb plant, has to wait for teammates to get in the angle to support, but it is even Stevens in terms of the numbers from this point. Die trying to secure the back line, she'll succeed, but now she's all alone. It's actually Goose Breeder, who's picked up the AWP, the big green, misleading me as to who holds it. Whoa. Gets the kill, but can't deny the defuse, and that will be Scar to snatch away the round right under her nose, or beak, I suppose.
Still, I mean, Goose doesn't always carry that off, but certainly looked very comfortable with it in that round, getting the 2K, then picked up the AK to find the last player. But like you said, the unfortunate aspect about that is you don't get the round victory, as the defusal was snuck right in there by X13. So their round win streak now hits 5. CLG Red still looking for that response. Another full buy-up coming through here with the 4 AKs and the off, but the early damage in terms of utility is going to favor X13, and Eris has a great position against Jaguar. This time, though, nice swing by Goose Breeder to get the headshot. Then Yuli spots out Dolphin. She's turned into quite a problem for him as he cannot find the answer.
We saw, so there was an attempt there, right, from Eris. I think it's something that actually made work before, which is as soon as the mollies come through, you peek to try and catch them still with the utility in hand, but the adjustment was there for CLG Red. They were ready for this. Maxwell does manage to bring one back, but this might be a futile effort, right? Futile, I suppose. I always, you know, those words, futile and futile. Futile and futile. They get muddled for whatever reason. So is it a medieval power structure, or is it a hopeless effort? One of those two. Lemon, speaking of which, around the donut. Speaking of neither, really. Dancing! A dance of death, and it's looking good. A little bit of a tango, a pirouette, flamenco. Whatever it is, it does look beautiful. Jennifer. Making her way out of sight, and that's not going to happen. Lemons with a shot to the side of the head. What a rally there for X13 in a 2v4. A 2v5 at one point. Managed to rally that, bring it back. CLG Red allowing themselves to be two separated, allowing a one-on-one engagement, not able to play off of each other. They pay the penalty in a big way.
Yeah, speaking of playing off each other, well, Maxwell and Lemons did a great job of that. With the information was given away, Maxwell's position exposed, and Lemons comes around the corner and just blindsides the last player there for CLG Red to get the round victory. Yeah, they're just well played across the board, and CLG, you know, the previous round, the bomb was defused right before the final frag came through. There, they had the man advantage, that 2-man advantage, and couldn't pull it off. You gotta win those rounds, especially on your T side. And now they've lost Goose Breeder right off the bat. This is just a pistol fire for them, though. But you kind of hope they find something. Jennifer is gonna get Dolphin, but Maxwell, missing the shot. Gets the recovery, but Jennifer is gonna get one right before Lemon seals the deal. And both Jennifer and Dye. So X13 have effectively taken care of the first half and gotten an 8th round victory.
They get the op back, so it's really no harm, no foul. No major deal here. X13 running, what, 7 in a row at this point?
That's right.
7 in a row here on Ancient. We did say the CT side is very powerful, especially once you get your legs under you. Perhaps it was good for CLG Red to get those rounds off the rip on the force buy, because it doesn't seem like they're going to get a whole lot more. Huge pick for Maxwell early on, takes care of the mid presence, removes Yuli from the equation. She's been a nuisance for them, especially on those early engagements, those initial picks. And now it won't be a concern at all, because there is no more Yuli to be worried about. Instead, seems like they're going to adjust. Now, here's the thing for CLG Red. They've been pretty rigid in these early rounds. They've got their default. They run their default every round, just about. We saw one round where they went for an initial A main face. Other than that, it's been a couple of variations on a theme, shall we say. And at this point, I think X13 have a pretty good feel for it, and I think it might just be time to shake things up a bit.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Mike, and you see the same thing happening again here. You know, you see CLG sending 2 players towards Jaguar, and this time, I mean, they won the engagement last time as well, but as you mentioned, you know, X13's adjusting, they're reading things perfectly, and they're getting in the right positions to take down anything that CLG is throwing at them. So definitely some mid-round or even mid-game adjustments need to happen for them, and there aren't many rounds left for them to do so on their T side. Here comes an execute potentially towards the B site as smoke flies through. And yeah, definitely CLG going to come on through. Molotovs being thrown right back at them. So that's going to hold them at bay for at least a little bit. And time is ticking away. They're going to have to move on this bomb site. Nope. There it is. Eris with one. Scar a second. Goose Breeder does manage to get a 2K for herself to open up the space. But there are still 3 more X13 players to deal with. And Lemons gets another touchdown on Goose, leaving only Dye standing, who will only manage the bomb plant. And that is it. X13 pick up an 8th round in a row. And they still have 3 players left standing.
Starting to look a little dire here for CLG Red. I will say one of the things that's contributing to this, Emmy has all but disappeared. Started out the game 8-1, is now 8-9. So last 8 deaths have not had a return in investment. A little bit of a concern there, especially when we know what a dynamic fragger she can be for this squad when she's hitting. We saw it in the first few rounds of this game even. Goose Breeder, though, has stepped up quite nicely. Need to see some more contributions for them to be able to convert one of these rounds. Running out of opportunities, of course. Just 3 more rounds to play in this half. And while, yes, it is a CT-sided map, 3 rounds, I don't think that's quite enough.
No.
It's very little.
tough. Yeah, I mean, look, it could be enough, right?
Could
if they
be.
pull off an incredible CT
Could be.
side, but you really put yourself in a tough position. Well, that's going to be an opening frag there for X13 as well, as Scar goes and takes down Goose Breeder, who was just trying to sneak in from ramp. The unfortunate thing for that is she was the lurk, so there wasn't a trade in sight. And now you see CLG hoping that that was enough to distract the attention of X13 and rotate them on to B. And in fact, there are a couple of players there. Yuli does get the opener again on Dalton, who has had a rough time there, but it hasn't really resulted in much for CLG, and that's why the trades come through immediately for X13. Lemons gets one. Maxwell another with the off on Amy, and he just keeps racking him up, Mike. Dai is going to respond with the op, but she's the last one standing. She's got so much work to do, and it won't happen. Maxwell, the three-piece, 10-3.
That one
X13.
gap is just punishing them again and again on the A site takes. Maxwell starting to really come alive with that op, as you said, 16-4 at this point. Dominant scoreline for the man. But this is that gap. Every time they try and take A, it's been punishing. Obviously, there's smokes that you can throw for it, but without cover, that A site is just brutal without the utility accessible. It's one of the things that, frankly, I think most of the community's in agreement that A site needs a little bit of work.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of making it just more possible to take as the A's, as the attackers. It's just, it's so open and exposed.
Yeah, it's not only taking it, Mike, it's holding it, right?
Yes,
Because it's such an open space, but on top of that, you have 4 entry points for the CTs to come in on the retake. I think even 5, I'm not even sure. It's just so many potential areas that they could come from, so they surround you, and you really don't know where to look, and it's very difficult to hang on. So, yeah, definitely some adjustments to be made, but I think it's just minor tweaks here and there, maybe adding some more barriers to help prevent that from happening. And either case, Yuli's going to go for a big hit here, Mike, and they send Yuli right in, but they take so much damage. Look at the utility damage. Well, Nate flies through. It will get one. Dalton gets 2, and they are just farming away now. Goose Breeder, the last one standing. She is going to actually sit in a Molotov very briefly, and that's the audio cue that X13 needed. They're just going to charge out, and they make it look easy. Eris gets the last one.
Would you say her goose was cooked?
I was trying to lean into that one, Mike. Thank you. Yes.
I like goose. You don't get it a lot in the U.S. as a consuming something to eat. The French, they do some good goose.
They do.
Cassoulet. That's the jam. I do love me some cassoulet with the white beans and the goose.
Have you had it that often?
Yes. When in that region, it is a good thing to eat.
Huh, good to know.
Highly recommend. Emmy burns alive here. Again, it has been now 11 deaths since Emmy has gotten a kill.
Jeez, Mike.
Really not a good. I mean, her scoreline's still respectable, but you just have to remember that she was crushing them early, and then has just. We got to put out the missing posters at this point. We got to get her face on the milk cartons because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Scar going to get popped, trying to push through the smoke, maybe making the move a little bit early before that utility faded. Probably would have been dead either way. It was a good hold. A little bit of exchange in towards the Jaguar cave area, but nothing just yet. Eris will fall back to hold from Parrot. Hey, I haven't really had much cause to call it yet, but I'm gonna work it in there. I was trying to figure out a justification for that being named Parrot. The more I look at the shape of it on the map, the less I can. It really looks nothing like a parrot. Like maybe the weird wall in B could be parroty, like a parrot body, but I got nothing here, man. There's presence in the temple, though. Look at this. Goose Breeder with this engagement. Huge kill to find. Looking for more. Can't have it. But that may just have bought enough space to plant at the least. Still disadvantage in the retake. That second kill would have gone a long way to making this round plausible. Dalton's able to just walk out dry. There's the second player spotted, and they now know where Dai is. Dai gonna have to try and battle through. Denies the defuse at least for the moment. A nade would be great here, but none is to hand. They'll take the defuse, just trying to play the time, but they'll eventually bait the peak they were looking for, and Dalton will put a bullet to finish that round. Finish that half as well, 12-3, 11 rounds in a row here for X13 as they come back from an initial deficit and just stomp the competition for a phenomenal scoreline.
Yeah, it seems to be the story on Ancient, though. Once you find your rhythm and momentum on CT side, it is very difficult to strike back and stop it unless you're maybe the likes of Extra Salt and Pain, who happen to have the ability to
Her
do
face
so.
on the milk cartons, because it's been a while.
Yeah. Got a replay here.
Scar?
Yeah.
Going to get. I think they just like my milk carton line, which, you know what? I like the milk carton line too. Let's get some
it's
mocked
pretty
up.
good.
Let's get some mocked up. I'm looking over at Justin, who's running our replays here. Mr. Pythian Legume used to be on with us for a lot of broadcasts.
Yeah.
Now he's off busy jet setting around the world, doing packs, doing events for Complexity. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. We don't want to let it get to his head, though. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Stay humble. It's so nice to be here with the production team as opposed to them being voices in my head who I never see. Being able to look over and point at Justin, being able to see our producers right in front of us. It's a delight. This is really, it's tough to communicate exactly how much this means to me after almost 2 years of casting alone in my bedroom at my desk. Like, I haven't worn pants in 1.5 years, guys.
I'm not sure I need that image in my mind.
Now you know. Dai's going to get the initial pick here as the approach comes in towards A. A plant on A, though. We've seen this go awry before, but there are smokes up for it. That bomb will go down. Yuli, the first engagement in the catacomb, support for her, but Yuli joins the dead in that hallowed place, and it'll be left to Goose Breeder to try and clear this out. So control into the catacombs might be the ticket here. No one's exposed to this donut push. 2 players making their way through. But this appears to be a pretty good setup here for X13. Now comes the hit. Goose Breeder trying to clear, and she will find one.
Oh,
Can't
no.
find the head of the second. It's falling apart here. There it comes in. But the bodies, they've dropped. It's all fallen to Emmy. Emmy needs to make the hero play. There's one, but can't find the second. Doesn't have the kit. Will retrieve that. Just going to try and stick the bomb off the smoke. Oh, no, the smoke goes wide. The time is gone. The smoke goes wide. This round is over.
Oh, what a shame. Another close engagement there between the 2 squads. But, I mean, look, Goose Breeder unfortunately flubbed a few shots. There was an opportunity to make that a 2v2 a lot quicker, which could have swung the momentum in favor of the CTs trying to retake the site. But because they took so long to get that, to even things out of the 2v2, I think that's the reason why X13 had a chance to adjust and respond. And they get their first round on the second half. So that's 13 for them. As we mentioned, you can really build up those T-side rounds early on Ancients. So it spells trouble for CLG Red as Dalton is going to come through here and look to get some control of Amy, but hey, Jennifer is going to get one with the Deagle, and you have the force spike coming through for CLG Red, which did work out for them on their T side. It's a little weaker on CLG side. You have that MC9, and Eris will win the engagement with the AK. Takes a lot of damage due to that engagement, but still, they get control of the mostly. Goose Breeder goes down in caves, and that's going to be it for the B site.
Okay, big engagement here. This could allow the retake, but it's not going to happen. Scar holds the line. Lemon's there to support as well, and that will be the shutdown. So it's not looking good for CLG Red here. By the time they get their feet under them on the CT side, the game might be over, or at least the map 1 of said game, series, point,
Yes.
round,
Series point. Yeah.
match, iteration. Couple flashes and a P2 fitties. That's all that's invested in here. Nope, sorry, Jennifer's got a D. Very important piece there. We'll see if it can have some impact. It's going to be a stack on towards B, and well, wrong site.
Ah, it's the gamble. All right.
Flip a coin. Maybe don't buy lottery tickets. Bomb's going to be planted. Dalton's going to have a chance to pad the scoreline here. Over in towards the window. Got to be a bit careful about running out of bullets, especially as you back into all the USPs. Dalton down. Gun found. Something out of this round at the very least for Emmy to take home.
I don't think X13 are too troubled, right?
No.
I mean, they still got 4 rounds, and they might be able to take
Oh, no.
These times, this Eris pops off for the 3K. There you have it. No gun saved over for CLG. Could have helped them a little bit, as they're now down 15-3. 12 opportunities for X13 to wrap this one up. That is quite a bit, as we're going to see the replay here. It just, yeah, it was a great try. Just did not stay that
Tasty
Frag.
ecos.
Yes.
Nothing like a tasty eco. I will say, at least they're able to invest fully back in here for CLG Red, so it's not a huge catastrophe. But might have helped them in the long game. Even if they win this round, you got to worry about the money going forward. Yuli looking to get aggressive here by the window. Catches a player with a nade out. Perfect timing there, and Dalton goes down. Yuli has just been bullying Dalton all game long. Emmy's back on the board. Good to have her back. The milk carton campaign worked out. And this is looking like the round for CLG Red. A shutdown early. They have rebuffed X13 at every corner, but Maxwell will continue to make some noise. Almost takes the second. Just a bullet away from it. It's going to be left to Lemons. 1v4. Bomb on his belt at the very least, so a possibility of a bomb plant should he be able to clear out a site. And they've given up B. They've given up B. A free and clear site, a bomb to plant, money to be gained. Their spots are starting to come in here. You only clearing out, but no one close at hand. A clear here, a clear into the caves. Where have they all gone, Lemons wonders? Where do they lie? May have just missed the window here, actually, as there starts to be one to approach back from CT. Trying to get into that parrot position. There will be die. But a smoke might just give enough cover to get this planted. There, that confirms his location. Now the hounds are on the scent. They are rotating, making their move over in a big way. But Lemons did get that plant money through and now has a chance to do something truly incredible. Creeping back around, smoke off. Where of the angle is CLG? And a smoke in his face to force the angle out, to force him to push.
Oh, no.
Well, he's back by the box. Didn't they realize this? Another smoke in, and Goose will find the death blow. Just enough to get this defuse on, to get this round secured, and to put at least one more in the banks for CLG Red.
That was still pretty well played for Lemons, I gotta say. I mean, he gets the bomb plant, even gets in position in the post plant to perhaps do some damage. But CLG Red, although the first smoke didn't really isolate him, the second one did him in, and they all came around that corner and ensured that there wouldn't be a one-and-done situation over and over and over again to give Lemons the round victory. So, yep, CLG Red do find their fourth. And looking at the economy for X13 now, they're not going to be fussed at all. They should be able to get these rifles out without much of a problem, Mike.
Should do. I do hear some furious typing going on here, so kind of wondering what that was a response to. Maybe a little in-server trash talk. Don't worry, folks. If you want to trash talk, you can just yell at each other from across the stage. We can do that here. We have that power. I'm really enjoying watching people backstage wander through our camera shot, realize they've wandered through our camera shot, and then be so hesitant to come back through, even though we're not on. It's making me giggle a lot. Here's going to come the aggression in towards A main initially. X13 trying to make a move, and they're doing it quick. They're ahead of the smokes. They're ahead of the smokes. This could be a problem. Jennifer needs to stand strong. She's got the first, looking for more. She's got it as well. Another shutdown, and through the smoke comes the last lamb to the slaughter. Not a problem here for CLG Red. That round they get through clean as a whistle.
Yeah, it's a little interesting to see X13 go for a quick hit like that, especially onto the A site where it's very difficult to guise your advance. Usually it's better to take that more calculated approach. They went for it and were completely shut down. So this is the danger, right? You get that early, very big lead coming through into the second half, but CT side is very powerful. You cannot look at your lead and say, we can just go for a quick one here. And they're trying it again. I mean, this time it's on a pistol round, so it makes sense. But, you know, not taking that heavy is definitely going to be a problem. Peacekeeper gets one, Emmy supporting as well. And this should be CLG, but Eris comes around swinging with a P250 and getting a headshot. That's going to be all X13 gets out of this round. A 6-1 on the board for CLG. But still, I mean, they managed to get a couple of frags on a pistol buy-up, and now they're going to run into the rifle buy-up.
They tried to make their way to Parrot, and this Parrot got plucked. Emmy has definitely come alive here in the second half. She's now second on the board for the team. That's been a big factor contributing in some of the rounds of success here. It's still early days, but that is very nice to see. She's, I would say, a win condition for them, certainly. You can't have her Vanna. She's too important for what the squad tries to do. So, nice to see once more. Control a Jaguar. Oh, aggression up mid. Look at how far Eris has gotten. All the way towards the top. Smokes in towards Donut and Temple have allowed this, but now there's a lot that can be worked with this position later into the round. A flash to clear red room, and onwards he pushes. Certainly CLG is aware of this. You can see Dai's back looking, but she'll pull off the angle, instead putting responsibility onto Yuli to come back and secure it. And this, risky, a little risky, especially as Scar gets an opening pick. The check into B main for Goose Breeder proves costly. This next engagement could decide the round. Now B is isolated. These two players, there's no cavalry coming. Never mind, just this one. They've lost the numbers. The cavalry is far away. And as a response, Emmy's going to try and work her way into a bit of a cheekier angle, but the clear out, the bomb down, the numbers down. And now Jennifer's position known. That gives him at least one of this number. Emmy cheeky angle, a cheeky hold will give them one more, but now with the flank on, she has to make a move. She knows she doesn't have the time to clear out that flank. How does she go for it? And she will find her grave. 16-6 is the scoreline. The round is found for X13. That will be a very strong win on their opponent's map pick to start off this series against CLG Red. What a showing from X13.
Yeah, that was more of the cool, calm, and calculated play I expect to see from them on T side. You saw them waiting for CLG Red to make the mistakes, and yeah, they made them.
Dang.
They peeked out twice, and they were punished both times, Mike.
A lot of excitement there on the X13 cameras.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, light work. Lean back in the chair, yo, look at my settings, just take a drink. Yeah, we won. What about it?
Yeah, either that or they want to remain calm, knowing that it's still far from over because we got one, maybe even two more matches.
We've got
to
the
play.
ears. Oh, we got the ears approaching. Those are quite the ears. Oh, and they're gone.
Huh.
Wild fauna of Fragadelphia.
Yes.
Wild fauna of Fragadelphia, indeed. So I didn't get a lot of opportunities to call Parrot, but I will say one thing here, John. Something that I wondered during that last map. Where do you think the expression clean as a whistle actually comes from? Because it seems to me that as soon as you use a whistle once, it's no longer clean, right?
That's right.
So
that is a very good question.
why I said the phrase and then I immediately thought this, folks, and this was the biting question on my mind. I just want to know, why do you say something's clean as a whistle? If you know, get in chat. Actually, I can't see chat. Tweet at me. Tweet at me at DarfMike why people say clean as a whistle. I want to know your answers, folks, because I don't know. I don't know at all. Oh, we are going to be headed into Vertigo next. Vertigo, always a map that can provide some upsets, that can provide some interesting opportunities depending on how teams want to play it. The A-ramp take, the classic that everyone expects, but there's so much more to that map. There's so much more in terms of possibility, in terms of what can be done. The lurks in mid, the meaty B stairs takes. There's a lot available for the taking if teams actually want to attempt it, and I'm really hoping that they do, John.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't always rely on that A-ramp take, and if you do, you'll eventually get punished, but yeah.
Still, Ancient definitely didn't play out to form for CLG Red. Not what they were expecting for. They did have some nice rounds early in the halves, but down the stretch, just kind of got swept away. We are going to take a break and see if their fortunes change on Vertigo or if X13 dominate once more to take this series early here at Fragadelphia 15.
Yes, nice shot, my friend.
Cheaters ruining your plays?
I have eyes on the enemy.
Bad servers stopping your shots? What you need is ESEA. Advanced anti-cheat to stop cheaters. And the best servers around, all with 128 tick rate. ESEA, the best way to play CSGO.
clear sight, a bomb to plant, money to be gained. They're giving up B. They've given up B. A free and clear sight, a bomb to plant, money to be gained. They're
Given up B. They've given up B. A free and clear sight, a bomb to plant, money to be gained.
for it. Oh, there we go. I'm learning. I'm back on land. You know, we're all out of practice there. Thank you, John, for pressing my mic button.
No problem.
Someone is having a lot of fun at our expense there, my expense specifically, and I appreciate that. That was, well, that was a little slow-mo casting action.
That was fun, I gotta say.
Makes me want to just have a soundboard here to apply effects to our voices.
That'd be great.
Would be great. I know Harry was messing with that once upon a time. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of funky stuff you can do with some of the soundboards that they've got out there. Some of the built-in features. We're going to be headed on to Vertigo next here, folks, in just a few moments. That's our next matchup here between CLG Red and X13. Before we do, we want to give a quick shout-out to one of our sponsors who helped make this event happen, ESEA! Without them, the prize pool would be half of what it is. It's fantastic. ESEA, go ahead and subscribe if you want to hop on in, try out their service, play CS the way it's meant to be played, 128 tick servers, hop in, join a league, join a cup. I like to play the Minecraft cups. They're hilarious. Or, you know, just play a pub. Just queue up, have a good time. ESEA, thank you so much for supporting us. We love ESEA in this household. And by this household, I mean the Sun Center Studios.
Yes.
It's a big household, man. These sound stages, movie studios, so the idea behind a soundstage, right, is that you can build any set in it that you need. So you could build, you know, Mordor in here.
Yes.
It's crazy.